Let's take a closer look now at the Greenlandic 800 sleeping bag. The Greenlandic 800 is the warmest of our semi-rectangular sleeping bags. The Greenlandics are designed, of course, with this semi-rectangular shape and a much wider foot bag. So that really is of interest to people that need a bit more wriggle room in the bag. People, side sleepers for instance, or people that sleep on their side and their stomach, they need a little bit more space to move over, so they need a little bit more wriggle room and a bit more comfort. Now, the 800 is designed for minus 25 degrees C, so it has some specific features worth taking a look at. I'll just open it up for you to have a look in here. Well, let's first just discuss the fabric options on the outer of the bag. The bag comes in either ultra shell, a water resistant fabric, or it can be fully waterproofed with a taped waterproof shell made out of dry LX. Dry LX is a waterproof breathable membrane fabric, and it can be taped, so the side seams here down the shell of this sleeping bag fully taped. It's a bit like having a bivy bag permanently attached to your sleeping bag. And an ultra shell is the other option. That's the more normal option to choose. It's a water resistant fabric. An ultra shell fabric really helps when you're dealing with condensation inside a tent. Okay, let's have a look inside the Greenlandic first. There's a couple of features that are different with the 800 to the other models. The first thing is it has a down-filled collar to really keep in the warmth inside the sleeping bag and keep out the cold from entering into the bag. So we've got a down-filled collar. The other thing that's unique about the Greenlandic 800 is that it has ultra shell panels on the inside of the hood. So we've made the inside of the bag there is made out of water resistant ultra shell fabric, and that's because at these sorts of temperatures at minus 25, when you're asleep in your bag at night, your breath will actually create some buildup of ice around the hood. You'll get ice building up around this area that's actually your breath freezing on the fabric. The problem, of course, with ice around the hood area is that when the sun comes up in the morning and the tent gets much warmer, the potential for that ice to melt and then penetrate the fabric of the sleeping bag is heightened by those sudden increases in warmth in the tent. So we've put water resistant fabric on here, so any ice that's attached to it has little chance of getting through to the down. Now the same has been done at the foot end of the bag, and we've used ultra shell water resistant fabric to build the bottom of the bag, and that's to deal with any moisture that's coming off from your socks. If you get into your sleeping bag with the socks on that you've used all day while you've been in your boots, they're going to be damp, and so we've put a water resistant fabric on the bottom of on the inside of the bag there. So I've just turned this bag inside out for you to take a closer look at the details of the inside. First of all, the inner fabric is a 7X, very lightweight fabric, really allows the down to loft fully. But the foot panel is different. It's been made in ultra shell. Ultra shell is a water resistant fabric, and it helps prevent moisture or dampness from socks. If you've got damp feet or slightly humid socks when you've got into the bag, we've put on here a waterproof fabric to just reduce the amount of dampness getting through to the down. Equally on the top, the hood panel, that's the inside you're looking at there. The hood panel is made out of water resistant ultra shell, and the collar as well is made out of water resistant ultra shell to prevent any of the ice that freezes on the inside of the bag from your breath. To prevent it getting into the down, we've used waterproof fabrics. Now, as I say, this one has been made in dry LX waterproof fabric, so it's got a fully waterproof shell. Of course, it can't deal with, you couldn't use it totally outside in the rain because the hood area is open and water would get in. But if you're under a tarp or a semi-covered area where your head is protected from heavy rain or something like that, heavy dampness, then this is a very good way to protect the bag. As I say, it's like using a bivy bag over the sleeping bag, but it's permanently fixed to the sleeping bag. This one's got a half length zip on the shoulder, And because it's got a waterproof shell, it's also got a baffle over the top of the zip to protect it and stop water getting into it. Okay, so that's a much closer look at the Greenlandic 800.